Hi, it's Liz. Today we're going to do some embroidery. So I'm using my Janome Memory Craft 500E. So I did a video on this a while ago, so I thought I would do an updated video, but there were some questions in the comments. So I got some questions of what type of needle I use. So it just depends on what type of fabric you're going to be using. Right now I have a universal needle, so it's an 80-12. So it's just, I can use this in my sewing machine. It works basically for all fabrics, so certain other fabrics will work better, but this is the one I use. You can buy, and if I was using some other fabric, I would definitely try out these other needles. This one is a sewing machine needle, especially for embroidery machines, for sewing with decorative thread. So on the back of this one, it actually tells you what type of needle to use for embroidery, depending on the type of machine that you're going to use. So if I was embroidering something with denim, it's telling me to use the number 116. So 100/16. So this one is this is an 80-12, so I can use that on the sewing machine. But the price points are a lot different. So this one is $5.50, where the universal one is $3.99. So this one is a chrome professional grade embroidery needles, and then this is a 75-11. So just looking on the back of that, it could be basically for like chiffon, lace, everything to silk and broadcloth. So just depending on what the fabric you're using, but I would just start off with what you have, which is usually a universal needle. So another question was what type of thread I was using, and you can use any type of thread as long as it's not too thick. I'm using a cotton thread. So this is the same thread I was using in the last video and the one I'm using in this one. It's Wonderful Confetti KT308, and it's Egyptian cotton, 50 WT, 1000 meters. And so I did define using cotton thread. Because your machine is going so fast with the embroidery, it does have a tendency to snap a lot more than, say, if I was using just a sewing machine, one that's polyester. I believe these ones are mercerized, so that means that they are have a chemical treated on them or something like that. I don't know the whole process, but basically it has a low fluff count with the cotton, so it's not going to bung up the machine as it's embroidering very fast. So just depending on the thread that you're using and have bought, but I would just look and make sure. You could just do a test run as well. So today I'm going to use KT308. For my bobbin, I just have white thread, same with the confetti, same cotton, Egyptian cotton thread. And the bottom depends if it really shows through depending on your material. I'm going to be using white because I'm going to be using a fabric that is white, and we're going to see how it goes. You're going to need also fabric stabilizer. So this one is just an embroidery stabilizer. This is a 1.8 ounce, so 50 gram, 12 by 50 yard roll. I got this off of Amazon, but you can, depending on what type of thickness you need and what type of fabric you're going to be using, also the type of project, because if you have a project that is wider than this, obviously you're going to need something much wider to stabilize it. So we're going to be putting this on the back of the fabric so that it keeps it straight while it's embroidering, so it doesn't bunch up or move your fabric. So with this, there are other types of embroidery stabilizer. This one you just tear away, but if it's a really delicate material, you could do a wash away one. So once it's in contact with water, it actually just disintegrates away from it. But this one, I am going to be trying to use it on this material. I don't know what the material is that I'm going to be using. I believe it's like a lightweight linen, but I don't have the tags and I don't remember what it was. It was in my stash. So we're going to try it out together and see how it works. So you probably saw that I had to rethread a couple times. It is very thin fabric, almost like a densely cheesecloth fabric, and it could be. So it actually shifted. You can also get some like, it's basically like fabric hairspray, and you spray it on your fabric that will shift, and then it makes it really hard, and then when you wash it, it'll come out. So that was the first one. So I had one, I think at the T or something, and so I had to rethread that. And I always just look at the top here. So sometimes the tension on this can be an issue. If it's too far down, it can cause it to break, or I like to have it up. If I notice right away, I just hit my stop and go button. The computer will recognize it. So if you need to go back in your stitches, because you're doing an intricate design, raise your presser foot, and then you can press plus or minus here, and that will make the needle go 1 stitch or 2 stitches backwards or forwards. And it gives you all that information. It took me 11 minutes to do it. Just because we stopped and start, though at the beginning it said 6 minutes to complete. It's saying 2 colors because they're counting the lettering as one and then this as another one. So it did stop for me to raise my presser foot to change the color. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that has given you inspiration, and let me know if there's anything else you want to know about the embroidery machine in the comments below. I will do eventually a video on using the computer to make a design and then importing it into the machine, so we can do that together. I will talk to you later. Bye!